I want to prove that, my vocabulary words are far better than most of educated American with a college degree, and I want to demonstrate that my tonality works really well, and it's not caused by the change or, subtle tonal confusion. It's really caused by my, personality disability. I had a little impulse issue. I cannot actually, wait until I would actually see a different one, because whenever I solve a certain question, I had a tendency to mark, all the possible choices before I settle down for the final answer. That kind of habit truly prevents me from waiting until I actually find the right answer. That's really the long, inveterate habit of mine. That's really the reason I'm having a trouble, but I will actually make sure to hold my finger until 100 different questions. Whatever type of subtlety, I'm really great with it. subtlety 레슨 적 없어요. 억울해요. I'm actually far better. subtlety 진짜 못한 적 없어요. I'm actually way, way better. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for anything. Watch this. No. Watch this. Watch this. I'm actually way better than other American. I'm not less than other American. No. No, it's not distant past. No, I'm actually genius. I don't really need to have any difficulty. Not at all. I'm actually genius. I know it better. I don't really need to struggle. I can actually go to the United States and I can definitely attend American college. I can definitely go to America. I have no reason to leave here. I barely understand Korean language. But don't actually press something. I know, it's a hard. It's not really pretension. No, not very narrow. It's not at all pretension. It's not thin and shallow. Everything can be seen right now.
Content.
It's not thin at all. I know more than other people.
Thin.
Oh, it's not thin at all. No, it's not. No, it's not feeling numb.
Exempt.
That's really it. I'm actually far better than most American.
Elder. Ashamed. Outspoken.
Is that all you need to have?
Former.
아무 책이나 해. 아무거나 해서 내가 컨트롤 못하는 걸 하자. 그래야 점수가 맞지. Though, no, I cannot control it. If I ever actually pick out any random book, I have no idea what would come out. 몰라요. 뭐가 나올지 모른다고요. 그리고 한 번도 한 적 없는 거 성적 훨씬 좋아요. 찍은 게 아니라 주의하니까요. It's really about the caution. There is no chance you can retract your answer. That's really a great handicap to me. Someone impatient like me. It's not graphic. Picture this. Let's try. I have never tried it before. 왜 graphic이지? 난 graphic 한 적 없는데. I know better than most of American. Defiance. 잘 눌러. Inauguration. I'm actually better. Sharecropper. Tenant farmer. It's really easy. Is that all you have? Persecute. Cause to suffer. 그래봤자 느리지 않아요. Ask other American. I've never tried it. You know what? Let me say one thing. I can never be tested on something that I know. If I ever actually pick the book that I never had done before, that I never read before, that means I have no idea what type of questions are going to be presented to me. No, 몰라요. Scold. Rebuke. 그렇게 많이 하지. Barter. Swap. Congregation. Conducive, I know. I didn't make a mistake. Contributory. No. 진짜 똑바로 하면 괜찮아요. 100개까지는 잘 괜찮아요. 100개는 무조건 맞출게요. 그리고 항상 계속 실험해요. 계속. 맨날 새로운 문제. Dominate. Overshadow. Precipitate means quickly do something. Yeah, that's a better, right? The tonality. 오늘 GRE 문제집을 사올게요. I will actually purchase a GRE practice test, and I will solve only this part. Restless. Moving. Not really moving. Yeah, I know. Righteousness, adherence, moral principle. That's the first one. Break up. Disperse into the air. It's not wear out. Abrasion, no. Poke it, definitely not really poking. Change your break up. That's a better option. Sure. Disaggregation. Integration. Confront. Deal with head on. Face it. This is really not about the question. It's not really technically that difficult, right? But the only problem is, doesn't matter how many times you got it. Just a week ago, a day ago, it doesn't matter. Just hours ago. It's not really confusion. It's really like this. Have you ever noticed that? Let me actually give one example. There is an area, but the first one is a solo. You actually know that a solo opera composition. I'm talking about after multiple hour. It's not at the beginning. So it wasn't really the right answer, so I actually pressed it. But the second one, when area was given, you naturally kind of assume that it would be the same question. No, there is a solo, whatever. And the other one is really just, classical contest and whatever meaning. So the problem is you really have to be patient. Patience is really the greatest virtue here. I really learned that. No, I'm not really trying again. 진짜 trying again 하는 건 아닌데. I really wish I could be tested on something new. I really have no rejection. Induction. Principle. I'm not the middle. No, it's really not like that. Watch this. It's not really blurry. Not at all. It's not at all blurry. No one can actually see that. No, it's not. Not at all blurry. No one in this universe see that my English is blurry. On any aspect. No one in this universe would ever see that it's blurry.
domestic,
여기도 적을게요. 혹시 거짓말 한다고 할 수도 있으니까. 이거는 진짜 계속 실험받고 싶다. 이거는 스펠링은 진짜 사람이 책에서 사전에서 부르면 적는 걸 그 자리에서 할게요. 문장도 주세요. 스펠링 B처럼. I just really like to be alerted on the various examples. That's really something that I need, just like the rest of spelling bee students. I'm more than happy to participate, and if you ever want to examine me, 그거는 할 마음이 있지. 그렇죠. If someone who really doubts my spelling ability, grab a Merriam-Webster Collegiate dictionary and spell name anything, and I'm more than happy to be tested on it. And if I fail to meet the criteria expected from normal American, then I would give it up. 그거는 할게요.
Defiance.
잠깐만. Let me change the style of font. Somebody's bouncing a basketball. That's better. I'll do it.
Congregation.
I'm not crazy. I'm not lesser than other Americans. But after 200, let me go. I'm afraid of, being very impulsive. There's no chance I can recuse myself from pressing something really in a crazy way.
sharecropper,
You're learning from the US history class 10 years ago. After the Civil War. This is a really common expression. I'm learning from American school 10 years ago. 근데 이거는 진짜 거짓말 아닌데.
Conducive.
Well, seminary? A church.
Inauguration.
Inauguration and investiture도 적어줄게요. Investment. investiture. 요즘 맨날 이런 거 나오나? 프레시던트 일렉션 때문에. 그러면 noun을 또 해볼까? barber 같은 거 모른다고 하니까. 아니 그렇게 생각 안 해도 되는데. 그럼 lower intermediate 쉬운 noun 해보자. 그 이상한 noun 말고. 사람들이 내가 그런 거 모르는데. 근데 사실이 아닌데. 그냥 한국 발음 잘 이해해서. 내가 외국어로 발음하는 말 진짜 못 알아들어요, 좀. conniption. The church boy and altar boy, I know it, because one of my elementary school friends, he used to be part of my English private tutor class. He said that he's an altar boy. His mother was a Catholic. I remember he actually had a rosary ring. Yeah, altar boy였어요. altar boy 한국어로 하면 뭐라 하지? 꼬마애들이 이런 거 성당에서 뭐 주는 그런 거 있잖아요. 나 알았는데. 왜냐면 걔가 그거란 말이에요. 내가 어릴 때 영어 같이 공부했던 애. 복사인가? 그런 걸걸요? 한국어 너무 생각 안 해본 지 오래됐다. 진짜 오래됐어요. 초등학교 때. 계속 무슨 데 오노마토 야추 sneezing. 근데 같은 거 안 하고 쉬운 단어 해줘도 되는데. Because the Korean president's granddaughter's name is a former Korean president. So the granddaughter's name is Bonanza, and I was really, whoa! How could you even actually name someone's name as Bonanza? You remember Faber-Castell? They had a beautiful pencil named Bonanza. 그거 아주 오랫동안 가지고 있어. I really actually held this pencil. 근데 for this former president, ex-president committed suicide. He killed himself. 이 사람도 이걸 내가 모르는데 보내니까는 진짜 오래된 단어예요. It's a Faber-Castell. It's from Germany. Bonanza. Ding, ding, ding. And this means the gold pile. It's a gold heap. He's gonna stumble upon jackpot. Hit the jackpot or bring down the house. What do you think, Frederick Pleiken? Have I brought down the house? Bring down the house. Or hit the jackpot. And I even actually heard that Mitt Romney actually said that the Bain Capital was making so much money they thought that they were hit by a lucky stick. Flogged by a lucky stick. 너무 돈 많이 벌어서 lucky stick으로 맞은 줄 알았대. If you ever watched the front line featuring the presidency between President Obama and his contender Mitt Romney in 2012, you would have noticed it. He thought that, his folks were flogged by a lucky stick because they've been constantly signing up a contract, almost like the cash cow bringing heaps, stash of cash every single day, unbelievably. 너무너무 돈을 많이 벌어서. 근데 지금 오늘 GRE 문제집을 사올게요. 밖에 가가지고. 근데 좀 머리는 안 좋아요. 그거는 알아요. 노력이지 타고나게 인하고 그런 사람이 아니지. 그건 내가 알지. I'm not really kind of genius, natural born genius like Ina Huang or Frederick Pleiken. Nope. This is more like something that I tried or something. I was keen on gathering many thingy, but I have to shut up because my fingers are really buttery. Litany, long list of. 근데 이거 나 좀 안 틀렸다고 하면 안 돼요? 왜냐면 이거 거짓말이 아니라 그 미뷸렛 리베가 아니라 리베쇼 그리고 이거 absorb은 있거든요. 이거 다 엄청 almost like drowning in alcohol 이란 뜻인데 이거 프랑스어에서 옛날에 몇 년 전에 libation 이게 다 마시다래요. It's really like quaffing. It's really drinking like crazy. You're deadly intoxicated. Because there has been a BuzzFeed article. Some of the things that people most regret when they were deadly intoxicated, when they were they're actually, almost absorbent, drunken. So they would even barely recognize anything. 저는 똑똑하지 않아요. I'm not really smart, but I know that much. Monica Sabrikit. Nickname. Roster oral. I might. The CUNY's college system always has a roster assignment. Because, as far as I know, all the state colleges should incorporate a portion of their attendance records into a grading system. Even if you're really A+ student, really genius, if you skip more than 3 classes, then your grade will be mitigated. So whenever our class begins, like Professor like Blake Eastman literally called the roll and looked deeper into the roster. Yeah, the roster. Let me go get my roster. I can still hear it. And if you ever actually see the Congress, there is a roster. It's very important. Trilobite. Extinct anthropod with a 3-part exoskeleton. Exoskeleton means the skeleton itself reveals outside. It's really different, it's not really guessing. 그냥 guessing 진짜 아니에요. 왜냐면 arthropods 진짜 이거 한 10년 전에 옛날 학교 다닐 때 SAT 그런 데 나왔어요. arthropod는 spider 같은 거잖아요. Even though it has 8 legs, but it's not insects, right? It's not actually divided into 3 different parts, the thorax and something like this, and we can never actually do that, right? But the problem is exoskeleton. It's interesting. We, human being, are not exoskeleton. It's endoskeleton, because our body is covered. Our bodies are covered with complexion. The skin is, probably the greatest organ we have in its sides. Not probably. Biologically, it's really the biggest and greatest. When it comes to its it's not really density. When it comes to its width and breadth. Yeah, breadth itself is really the greatest one, right? But skeleton itself is, on the outside of one's body. So if you ever actually watch the fossilized one, there is an insect. 이거는 내가 진짜 옛날에 한 거예요. 지금 최근 한 1년 동안 배워본 적이 없어요. I have never actually seen this specified word for years. 그리고 이거예요. Fossilized에 있어요. 옛날 SAT 같은 거 할 때 했어요. 정말 되게 오래됐어요. Stalagmite, 내가 그래서 적었잖아요. It's really a word that I actually used to apply for general studies, right? 그때 general study applying 할 때 적었던 거잖아요. Cylinder of a calcium carbonate projecting from a cave floor. 이거 확실하게 알아야 되죠. 거짓말 하는 거잖아. Egress. 이 바깥으로 나가는 거잖아. 좀 천천히 해야 돼요. 왜냐면 계속 마음이 급해. 왜냐면 I'm really pressed by my desire to demonstrate as many as possible, because I understand there was suspicion. Oh, you've been actually faking this. You only actually covered some of things in recent days, so you only actually remember this much. But my mission is to demonstrate that, some of the things are compatibly coexisting right now. But my mission is, how can I prove it? 어떻게 그걸 보이지? 이게 같이 있다는 거. These, this thingy and that thingy, together coexist, and not necessarily that much volatile as they might actually think, as my haters would actually conceive that these are not really that much ephemeral and volatile. 그게 근데 너무 pressure이에요. 어떻게 이걸 빨리 증명하지? 이것도 존재하고. These are all existent at once simultaneously, not necessarily exclusively burning out one thing. 이것 때문에 너무 힘들어. 변명이 진짜 아니라. 이 단어도 있고 저 단어도 있고 근데 너무 급한 거야. 빨리 해야 되니까. It's really difficult. Clairvoyant. 이거는 그때 내가 잘못한 거 인정해. Seer 했어야 되는데 clairvoyant 그런 건 내가 잘못한 거예요. Clairvoyant, seer 하지 않았어. 모르고 Messiah 같이 모르고 Savior 했어요. It's my fault. But voyant, it's not really guessing, but voyant is the seeing, the future seeing. And soothsayer. No, I just really wanted to demonstrate that it's not necessarily I know this many and losing that many. It's not really that much contrast creating. Dichotomy, duality. Harnessed. 이런 거는 그럼 네임을 줄게요. And bangled. But these bracelets are more like torques. 이거는 더 정확히 torque예요. And harness. And plowshare. Plowshare can actually be spelled in this way too. Oh no, what are you doing? These are exactly the same spelling. And this is a Jingham, but this is Ginger House. So since the Christmas is coming, the people are going to have a ginger house, right? 이게 a ginger house 맞죠? No, I didn't forget it. I have demonstrated. Some of them are they had it out wrong. Acolyte. It's not something that I forget. It's not like that. I just actually wanted to avoid it, but clicked. It got clicked. But meanwhile, I already actually demonstrate. I haven't even actually tested on the exactly same wording and different wording, or even actually blank completion. I really actually had to prove myself that I know this word of annuity in a different version. It's just so not true. That was really accident. Because I was so traumatized. Oh, I wanted to avoid it. What can I do? And a dragon, then I was really pressed. I'm not lying. Because before that incident, I also been tested on a different question involving the same word. And the choice that I had to choose was differently worded and phrased. It's really not true. Mimic. Oh, follower. Acolyte. Yeah, I really actually feel that I wanted to really avoid it, but I just pressed it. But today's omission can actually prove that. I was really right with everything that I was probably wrong, for whatever reason. I have to be cautious in terms of pressing it. It's really... No, I'm not lying. It's really not true. It's not actually me being rigid. No, I actually got annuity on different portion. No, I'm not lying. I actually really know what the other meaning is. It's really about the collateral. Collateral 계속 이거 피해야지. On the same day, the next day, I really wanted to evade this choice. And I was, what do I need to do? Keep going, keep going. I told myself, keep going, but I got pressed. That's really the only reason. If you don't buy it, I can actually try any legal terms or, inheritance law. I can actually do it. If you think that I would have forget just, one day, I really don't mind. It's not really my mind. 그렇지 않아요. 그냥 조심 안 해서 그래요. 후회하려다 놀렸어. I want to actually demonstrate it. I can actually demonstrate it. Family little 보이면 되죠. It's really not, I'm not really forgetful. In the first place, I was really aware of what annuity means. I was looking for yearly or regularly, but it just actually got pressed. It's not really something that I feel crazy. I have a very great memory. It's not something that I learned many years ago. 보일게요. 그냥 사고였어요. 잘못 눌린 거지. 이거 보면 알아요. Trial. Absent. I'm not lying. Anyone can actually agree with me. No one can actually invalidation. It's very difficult to deny it. 굉장히 denying 하기 힘들 건 난 틀리지도 않는데. Irreconcilable. 이걸 보면 알아요. 되게 조심해야 돼. 난 누르기 잘 못해요. 한 번만 어떤 일이 있어서 이렇게 드래깅 돼서 컴퓨터로 하면 드래깅이 돼서 이렇게 눌리거든. If you can actually buy and play this one, if you ever actually play more than 2 hours, you experience the metacarpal tunnel syndrome and you drag it. Then it would sometimes just drag it the main word that causes the trouble because it would actually be clicked. No one can actually save me and rescue me from that kind of choices. I wanted to avoid it. Oh no, I don't want to actually do this. 그럼 눌렸어요. 알게 될 거예요. 난 그렇게 기억이 나쁘지잖아요. 난 그걸 까먹은 적이 있어, annuity. 그날 3번에 다른 말로도 다 맞췄어. No, I'm not lying. I have never forgotten the annuity. I really wish I could actually verify it. Even actually with the different financial terms, I really wish I could have truly verified. It's really about the caution. If you don't actually know, no matter how well you know this term, if you don't actually be mindful of clicking, then that's a done deal. I want to prove it. I really have to be very, very cautious. I'm actually taking enough time not to actually, make any mistake. I'm not lying. I'm actually better than other people, my memory. It's really ridiculous. I have a better memory. Really a better memory. You'll get to know it. Watch this. No, it's really maternal. I'm afraid of oppressing something really wrong. I really have a terrible motor skill. That's a very well-known fact. No, it's not. I'm not crazy. I'm genius. I know every word really well. 그 전에 하지 않아도 진짜 다 알아요. 그리고 이런 거 뺏겼다고 하니까 치우자. 나 그냥 종이에 적으려고 한 건데. I really wanted to write down here in a new paper. I will tear it. 그냥 한 장 찢었어요. No, I'm not lying. My English words are better. I'm not really crazy. Watch this. Paternal. No, I know every word. Alimony. 끝까지 읽고. 하나 단어만 하지 말고. 왜냐면 계속 반복되니까 한 단어만 보고 누르거든. I'm not less than other American. I can demonstrate. 원래 예전에 틀렸던 것도 진짜 안 틀려요. 지금 보면 알겠지만. 이거는 뭐든지 누르는 거 한 번만 잘못 누르면 여태까지 내가 1000번을 맞춰도 안 돼요. 다시 한 적이 아예 없다니까. 내가 그날도 그걸 피하려고 annuity를 정말 피하려고 했어. I really wanted to actually I was thinking, there comes a collateral once more. How can I actually avoid it, drag it? But somehow I was too nervous because of this terrible incident. I accidentally somehow touched it, but it got really clicked. People don't buy it. If you don't buy it, watch me. Then if I ever actually had any type of miss of knowledge, then I would actually admit that. Try me. Especially something that I have gotten wrong before. Try me. 전에 했던 거 한 번만 틀린 거라도 가져오세요. 상관없어요. 진짜 안 틀려요. 원래 그렇게 안 까먹어요. 그냥 너무 terrifying 돼서 잘못 눌렀어. It's not really something that I have to think twice about it. 그런 거 아니에요. 잘못 누를까봐 그래요. 그게 무서워. 여기 이렇게 중간에 가면 끝이에요. I'm not really a forgetful person. What's this? Not controlling. That's a really ridiculous argument. You know what? I already actually said that the system is really crazy. I actually, literally with the same exact word, even actually variation, no matter how, Protean that might be, different choices, A, B, C, or E, F, G. I already actually picked the right answer when I was really cautious. I repeated this more than 3 times within a month. They still actually claim that one simple mistake, especially followed by another tragic incident, because I was too nervous. I actually clicked on something wrong. They said I was wrong. I didn't actually forget annuity. To me, because of the superannuity, it's really easy, not retrospect. No, I really wanted to avoid it. No. If you really actually think that I would actually be that much of forgetful, you would watch this one. I'm not lying. Annual means it's really kind of, the money that has been accrued. I don't actually forget. I'm not lying. 진짜 까먹어서 그런 거 아닌데 진짜 피하려고 이거 collateral인데 아닌데 갈래 이렇게 하는데 눌렸어요. Because before that, I was solving the questions more than 1,000 hours. If you really have a doubt about it, either actually print them out or actually have a retract button. Because if I ever actually take more than 3 or 4 hours of lengthy examination, I really wish I could have this type of recant button if there's any way that I can recuse myself from the previous, because this is my long, very, very habituated habit, tell the truth. I normally, if I ever actually see a wrong answer or possible candidate, I normally mark it until I would winnow that out. That's very difficult for me to control it. It's whenever I solve a question, people would watch it, normally say this and like this. I always do it, and that's a problem. After 100, I can actually control it, but and within 100 questions, I can control it, but after 100, it's very difficult. I'm not a father. Polyamory. It's a really kind of a common trendy or polyamorous. in these days, in America, there are many people polyamorous, never actually wanted to have a commitment to one lover, but they had a multi-lover, not really engaged in serial dating, but they simultaneously, concomitantly have a multiple lovers. That's a polyamorous. But polygamy is definitely just like Jeff, whatever, the cult of figure having a multiple wife. That was really associated with what's that? The Mormon. They decide not to call it in that way anymore. No, I'm not rehearsing. 그래. rehearsing 한 적 없어요. It's really not true. 그러면 아무 책이나 할게요. 아무거나 줘. 어떻게 하지? Just for fun. Anything. It's really not rehearsal. That's not true. Annuity, I had to rehearse more than 1,000 times. Then how are you going to explain that? I didn't forget it, but I actually had a technical glitch. I rehearsed annuity more than 1,000 times before that incident. I actually had a little clicking. I was too frightened. I wanted to skip that one. That's really the it. No, I'm not lying. I had no history of repeating it. Sheer genius. Let's try to do it. To shell, to rumpled. No, I'm not lying. No, it's really crazy. I'm not lying. Pagey boy, running errands. Yeah. Do you remember the congressional member Tom DeLay, who actually abused a pagey boy? This is a French word she knew. I tried it years ago. Plate. Friendship plates. It's more like friendship braids. This is a typical form of friendship braids. I never actually repeated. This is a petri dish. Petri dish, figuratively, is a microcosm. Microcosm? Or in a colony that actually, manifests in a certain breathing or as a breeding ground. This represents a drought, no rain at all. This is probably epitaph, I think. Cenotaph. No preparation. Do try me. 나 억울하네. 왜 preparation? 그러면 random words 하자. 했다고 했을 수도 있잖아. 그러면 random word 하면 내가 어떻게 알아요? 중간에 아무데나 가보자. 새로 올리면 되잖아. 억울해요. random words는 진짜 모르잖아요. 더 밑으로 계속 가봐. 한 10번을 아무렇게나 가봐. 이게 궁금해서. 내가 할 수 있는지. 진짜 많이 가보자. 아니면 이걸 하든지 더. 이거 하자. Random point for getting points. Scoring more points. I don't know. What else can that be? Chimera. Fantasy. Something that is non-existent. It's not really correct. Herbivore. Herbivore means vegetarian. It's very easy. Oh, very easy. Jersey, that clothing. Not slightly. That's really not true. Shroud means cover up. Cover. Shroud. Hide. That's a better. wandering weird or. That's alliteration. The same words and ends of the same words. Basketball player. The oil refinery. Yeah, just do it. I don't mind.
Chimera.
Chimera. It's very easy.
Deprive. Alliteration.
Disarmament. Jersey.
Hmm. That does activity widely from a norm of or distorted, unnatural in shape or size. But last time they said this is really answer. 저번에 내가 이거 했더니 틀렸다 했잖아요. I really remember it. It was exactly the same format. So I chose this one. Distorted, unnatural. It's really kind of quirky, perverted. 진짜 기억하는데. 그때 perversion으로 했거든요. perverted. Somewhat twisted, somewhat like deviant, sexual deviant. It's a really bizarre rendition. 그랬더니 나한테 틀렸다고 했어. 나한테 기록이 있어요. 근데 약간 난 테스트 하는 것 같긴 하다, 내 기억을. 내가 보자마자 이걸 눌렀거든요.
Herbivore.
I think, sometimes they challenge my memory. Because I actually remember that was exactly the same sequential order. It has never been shuffled. None of the choices were placed down, brought down to the bottom. No. I naturally said it's really just a very bizarre quality. But it could also be coexistent, very deviant, perverted, perversion. It's a fine. No, herbivore, this is a perfectly fine. 저 이상하네요. 거짓말하네. 또 약간 거짓말을 잘하네. carnivore 다 적을게요. carnivore and herbivore. 그리고 fruitivore. 그다음에 cannibalism, eating their own same species. cannibalism, 이건 eating one's own species. Eating, man eater, or snake eating one's own snake. 이거는 뭐 절대 안 틀려요. 전부터 자꾸 거짓말을 하네. 어제도 썰었는데도 나 지금 틀렸다 해가지고 어이가 없네. 끊어. 그러면은 오늘 내가 그거를 GRE 문제집을 좀 사올게요. 오늘 안 그래도 사오려고 했거든요. 거기에 보면 그거는 단어를 진짜 섬세하게 하는데 그 6 테스트 있거든요. 그걸 한번 해볼게요. 왜냐면 프레드릭한테 보이는 다른 사람 안 봐도 돼요. I really wish no one would see that. Tell the truth, that was a really like bombastic and a bumptious assertion, and then I just wish no one would see that, but I will demonstrate. Today I'm going to pick up the GRE book, and I will actually demonstrate. It would actually contain 6 different practices, and I will make sure to demonstrate how quickly I can actually solve these, especially the sentence completions, to make sure that I would never be that far off in terms of empathizing with American people. White whales, door to door, foot soldiers knocking on. Have I gotten it or not? I mean, Dana Bash told us. Or a shot to a broken window, a call to a broken window. It's Donald Trump's presidency is all about consolidating his own supporters. He is not really the president of the United States, but he is the president of those people who voted for him, who supported him. He is really interested in cementing this polarity, that this multipolar divisions, third-party supporters, they're also shunned out, and Democrats are even vilified. Whatever type of events you're going to experience, that's none of my business, none ya. He just actually teach them. That's a really kind of in a broken window. Just whatever type of horrifying event happens in the COVID-19 struggle, he just actually pretend nothing is going on. Deal with it. It's none of your concern, none of my concern. And it's your business to take care of whatever the fittest. That's his argument. I mean, these are really kind of expressions I've never even heard about. What about this in Dick Durbin's Orange Cloud? During the Senate confirmation procedure, Amy Coney Barrett, now Justice, right? Supreme Court Justice, was questioned with this sentiment. Senior Senator Dick Durbin, he actually posed a question like this. Wherever you go, and however you've been tested, you're always surrounded with orange cloud of Roe v. Wade and anti-abortion. What's your viewpoints like? This is really in the backdrop. However you actually define your legal legacy or jurisprudence so far throughout your career, you would never be liberated from the Roe v. Wade controversy and anti-abortion debates. How would you actually define it, and where would you like to posture yourself? I mean, even if you actually wanted to mitigate the sharpness of the debate, you might think that this would be too flaring, and you just wanted to take a turn off until this confirmation would be fully secured. But you are always enshrouded with the miasma of the Roe v. Wade. That's really the sentiment. The orange cloud hovering over your head. There's no answer, but that's how I actually felt it. Let me know. Definitely, there were tons of other people who know better than me. So I'm more than happy to share my opinions. And I'm very happy to be tested on a variety of issues. But I just want to share it. And there has been a certain global assumption but I don't like that either. I can't actually hear it. I don't really need to see it ahead of time. The white whale. Maybe I heard about it 10 years ago, but I barely remember that. Yeah, I don't think there is any validity coming from precedents. Because I barely remember that. Never in my life, not even once, throughout the 10-year span. I tried to be reminiscent of that. But once Dana Bash mentioned it, because of the contextual surroundings, I was able to get it. And it's really, like, very eager, young, foot soldiers, like college kids, just like, wearing Obama and buttons, having a clipboard, trying to actually obtain the signatures, knocking door to door. This type of dispatch and the deployment and deploy of young scouters as a community organizers. That's really the sentiment behind the white whales. They're eager and have so many things going to pursue their stalking horse or their hobby horse.